In this video, I will give overview of the experimental procedure for paper chromatography of food dye. Make sure to read the background and procedure file to complete the experiment. Prepare a rectangle of 7.5 cm width and 14 cm length from a chromatography paper included in a kit. You should be able to cut out 2 rectangles from one chromatography paper. By using a pencil, not the pen, prepare the chromatography paper according to the instructions in the background and procedure file. Make sure to write your name and the date of the experiment. These pictures show how to apply the food dye to the chromatography paper. When you apply food dye to the paper, make sure that the diameter of the color spot is less than 3 millimeters. If you make a mistake, then use another paper. Don't press too hard and avoid breaking the paper. After you prepare the chromatography paper, you will roll up the paper. The screen shows a good example. There is a nice space between 2 sides of the paper. The paper is rolled with the color spots facing outside. This is a bad example. There is no space between 2 sides of the paper. The paper is rolled with the color spots facing inward. Add the small amount of sodium chloride solution to the beaker. The solution should be 0.5 centimeter deep. When you place a chromatography paper, make sure it is placed in a correct orientation. This is a bad example. The paper is placed upside down. Also, the paper is not centered in the beaker and touching the side of the beaker. A small plate is placed on the beaker. In the picture, you see that eluent started climbing up on the paper. When the eluent front is about 1 centimeter from the top edge of the paper, remove the paper from the beaker. It should not take more than 20 minutes. Typically about 10 to 15 minutes. So if it takes more than 20 minutes for the eluent to climb up, something went wrong. Please contact me so we can troubleshoot. This is an example of chromatogram by using a different eluent. Identity of food dye is blacked out. So your result will be different, but do you get idea what the result look like? Mark the position of the eluent front for each food dye because the eluent front is not a straight line. For example, the arrow is pointing to the position of one of the eluent fronts. Measure the distance of each eluent front. The picture shows the distance for one of the eluent fronts. The picture shows example of measuring the distance of a blue spot traveled from the origin.